transport and insurance for the we are terrified. They're good for us. Now we got two motorcyclists. What's your name? No, they're on new. Okay, go ahead. Motorcyclists. Today, they put poster on our line on no reasons. The police chasing us. They killed 2 hours. For what reason they killed 2 persons? Actually, they said we said too that with the immediate ban that being imposed on you guys are violating. No. We're here, the same police that went on radio. This is super here, man. Yeah, what do you want to say about that?
Hello, my name is Christian Jacob.
What do you know about this situation, Christian?
Well, the situation happened this morning. Actually, my brother, you know very well, human being hungry. When human being hungry, they get food, they get do any other thing. You don't expect someone that get a children, that feed their children, they will sit down, hold it, you know, they hustle in the bread and not going to them up. So the guy key, maybe the money you're hustling doing my late today, bread. The police because running behind him.
After the police said no motorcycle should come to town.
Yes.
You were riding in town.
Yes, they live here.
And the police drove behind.
Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Read official complaint against Honorable Yeke Wa Koluba. Dear Honorable Speaker and Member, I present compliments and herewith right to officially complain Honorable Yeke Wa Koluba, Representative District 10, Montserrat County, for gross violation of the House's standing rules and procedure. Honorable Speaker and members, I respectfully bring to your attention my observation with deep regret that since the inception of the second session of the 55th legislature, Honorable Koluba has constantly and repeatedly engaged into acts inimical to the rules of procedure governing the activities of the House of Representatives. In the instance case and during one of our sittings on the 28th day of January AD 2025, Honorable Koluba purposely, knowingly and intentionally elected to insult member of the House, disrespect the gavel of the Speaker, and disrupt the session which exposed the House to public disrepute by his demeanor that contravenes Section 42.2 of the Standing Rules of Procedure of the House of Representatives. Additionally, Honorable Speaker and fellow colleagues, the District Number 10 Montserrat County Representative publicly referred to members of the House of Representatives as juntas, quote unquote, outside of the chamber of the House, thereby breaching Rule 42.1, which provides that every member of the House of Representatives shall be responsible at all times and placed to keep.
You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening.
Okay, we want to say welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight. This is your favorite late night show, the Late Night Politics and Spoon. We are back. I'd like to welcome all of you across the world, across Liberia as well. Thanks for joining us. We're live on Spoon FM 107.5, Fabric Radio 101.1, Super FM, and all of our affiliate radio stations, always relaying the program. Thanks to the many of you joining us online. We're live on Spoon TV on Facebook, Fabric TV on Facebook, Super TV on Facebook, and Spoon Talk Live on YouTube. My name is Nelson Collier. It's going to be another engaging show. Kindly share the program as you join us tonight as we sail through another edition of the program tonight, the Late Night Show, the Late Night Politics and Spoon. I want to welcome everyone tonight. I see a lot of you joining us. Let me recognize a few of you in the comment section as we get set to move into the rest of the program tonight. Let me recognize a few of you in the comment section. Let me make this quick adjustment here. Okay. I think we are set on this one. All right, so let me do this. Just a few of you joining us in the comment section. I see Robert Gunde. Thank you for joining us tonight from ABC Mission on the RIA Highway. You said that's where you're joining us from. I appreciate you for coming on tonight. I want to recognize Nathania K. Hill. Thank you for joining us tonight, Nathania. I see Hasford Joseph is here tonight as well. Hipko Kazi is joining us. He says, good evening to you and the entire team. Hasford is joining us from Trenton, New Jersey in the USA. Thanks for coming on tonight. Well, today is Friday. It's the weekend edition of the program. I want to recognize everyone and I want to welcome all of you in a very special way tonight. Mr. Philip Ballard, thanks for joining us. Josh, that's William B. Morris. We appreciate you for coming on tonight. Frank Bishop Queer, thank you for coming on as well. Joining us from Bartonsville resident, from your Bartonsville resident. We appreciate you. Justina Ish Kone, thank you for joining us as well from the U.S. It's going to be a great show tonight. Francis Rare, we appreciate you as well from New Jersey. Let me bring Moba on. Moba, the man Zokia, is joining us tonight. You know, Moba, welcome. It's good to have you on the show tonight.
Well, thank you, Nelson, and I appreciate my brother. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I don't know what's going on. I see you keep shaking your camera. You keep logging off, coming back on, and are things convoluted at your end? Are things convoluted? Are things getting convoluted at your end? Because I saw our brother Ture had a long podcast. You're saying how things are convoluted. In fact, he getting tired with Liberian politics now, Liberian business things, Liberia not improving. You know, the mail is very, but it's a good thing we're here tonight. Yeah, he said things are getting convoluted. But again, I want to welcome all of our folks joining us from across the social media tonight. Please share the show as you come on. Say I was sleeping. No, okay. So Philip Barra is saying that Moba, you are sleeping. Song and away, you are sleeping. I think Philip sees the sleep in your face when he looks at you. He still see that you're trying to. Yeah, Philip Barra, he said, welcome, Moba. That was the first comment, and then he said, Nelson, the man was sleeping.
No, man. Philip, I'm sleeping there, bro. That came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that came
but we're not going to be here long. It's going to be a great show tonight. Let's make the most of the time. At most 1 hour and be out. But let's do our opening, Bob. What's on your mind? Let's run straight into this thing and
what's on my mind, man? There's a lot going on. The last time we discussed about the motorcyclist guys, we understand, and some of us, like we were in a straight with this government. Actually, like we understand people want things to be done quickly. Oh, let's take the man out. Let's do this, boy. Is that how a government run? People, even when you get somebody 1 month, 2 months, it's not how it run. First of all, the government gotta open an avenue for those guys, man. We understand some of them violent and some of them are not. So we can't put all of them in the same category to say, okay, you know what, because some of them there or some of them that, so all of them in the same basket. I think it would be wrong. Some of those guys, they are well educated, well outspoken, very eloquent, and they find themselves being bad. It doesn't mean that we should look down on them. And a lot of things going on. I think the government need to recalibrate. The government need to recalibrate and go. And second, people just run with news. This not on Facebook. People just come on and say what they want to say. The other person down this aisle, and people follow those stories.
No. Before you talk about people down inside, when you say the government needs to recalibrate, what are you talking about, Mama? Are you saying that the government should let go relax every
Nothing.
restriction, the no-go zone, the safety measures, and
Nothing.
allow the motorcyclists all around the place, just everywhere, anyhow, anyway, anybody should just run anywhere without even documentation, the safety gears. What do you mean, Moba?
Good. You see,
Welcome
nothing.
to the show,
Let
AB.
us be
It's good to
specific,
have you.
right? If we talking about the motorcyclist should wear helmet and well, honestly, that document should be properly, correct, and
Mhm.
including that lesson, everything. Then we are talking about the people who violating. But it's not how it's work. Like they including all of them. Whether you register your bag, you get this, you get that, you can run so place. And next thing, our country, the capital is very. It's not that we got a big capital. You say people shouldn't run, and the majority of the activity in our country based in the capital city. So if you stop those Ghanaians from coming in the capital city, then you know how much money you think they will make? How they will feed their family? When we're talking that balance the topic, we champion this government and motorcyclists. There are people who help a lot. Although they get a ratting one among them, everybody's not perfect, but it's not because of that. We will just put everybody in the same category. Like okay, all motorcyclists, listen, they are violent, they are this, they are that. No, they are not. Look, some of these guys are well educated, but they're doing those things because no job in the country. So if the government coming out with
You know,
some policy,
I mean, this is something important. It's a whole conversation all by itself. Moba, I don't know if we have the luxury of time to do that, but um, when you talk about um the need to get job, make the private sector attractive, create job for the mother. Is there ever going to be a time when we have surplus of jobs in the country that you will not find a single motorcyclist out
no,
there?
no, it's not everybody will
Is
work.
that time ever going to
Actually,
come?
nursing, it's not everybody will work.
Okay.
Let me
So,
be,
so
let me be
it's
clear on that. But what I'm
mhm.
trying to say, if you look at the youth now in our country, the motorcyclists, if you counting the youth now, if you say maybe the youth, our age, maybe 100%, all of that 100%, you'll get close to 50% right back, all around the entire country. You'll get close to that. So if you're talking about job creation, making an avenue, for investor to come in, while you see people who well educated, who say, okay, you know what, I'm not riding back, I want to try something different and go to that side and start. Nursing, everybody will not go. But probably all of that 40 or 50% people who riding back, you'll find out what happens. You'll see maybe 20% will cut out. People will stay right back. Even
Okay.
any part of the world, people say don't do the one. People still violate, people do it, but it will not be as many as now we are seeing because half of the people they are not working, nursing. They're not working. It
Thank you.
depends on that to send our children to school, to pay their rentage.
I want to hold you there.
It's just too much. So the government got to recalibrate. Actually, they got to recalibrate.
Thank you very much, Moba. AB, your background is a little bit, you anyway. You trying to distract us. So I saw another background. Now I'm seeing another background, but that's good. You want to do your opening? What's on your mind? What is it you want to maybe take your 1 minute towards, and then we can start the show. You are muted, AB. Can you unmute?
I have the issues of the motorcyclists coming to my attention. I am to say that it is not all motorcyclists who are hooligans. There are some of them who are believed to be hooligans, but it is not all of them. There are some of them having a good motive and a good agenda for the country. Like the president said, the Motorcyclist Association president, like he said, it is not all motorcyclists who are just never went to school. There are degree holders among them, but the thing about this is that for them going to vandalize state property, I found out very, very much, out of order. And I just leave this with the police chief, the entire chief of the police, for them to be able to take a drastic actions against no-go zone, because there are just certain places that just motorcyclists cannot be able to go, and there are certain places that motorcyclists can be. There must be a rule set. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, AB. Thanks for your input tonight. Thanks for your opening, and this is very important. We can all look forward to seeing how this is going to play out. But just a few issues to run on quickly, guys. I firstly want to get this video coming up here. This one. Okay. So, as most of you may be aware, we had this situation with the USAID, the suspension of fundings and in foreign aid and stuff like that. The latest update on that is that, you know, the U.S. president and the Dutch, they won the case. So this has sparked a very serious concern for countries, especially countries like Liberia that are heavily reliant on foreign aid. Now, in the midst of everything that's going on, there are concerns that they are concerned as to whether the country is even going to meet up or meet her target with respect to the component of the budget that should have come from foreign aid, you know, and all of those different geared towards, you know, supporting some of our different programs. The different sectors are concerned. In the midst of everything that's happening, Montserrat County Senator Sir Joseph, on Thursday in session, did a communication to the House, to the Senate, requesting that body to order the GAC to investigate all the government ministries and agencies that have been receiving money from USAID since 2018. So the investigation or the audit should start from 2018 to 2019, 2020, 2022, all the way to 2025. How many agencies of government received money from the government of Liberia? What did they do with the money? To what extent? I mean, and though the USAID programs doesn't give money directly to the government of Liberia, they fund our different, you know, activities. But how much were we able to benefit from USAID? Let's be able to establish the gap that has been created in our budget as a result of the suspension of USAID funding, and then we can take off from there. But there were other senators who were concerned. Cindy, welcome to the show. There were other lawmakers who were concerned. Their concern was that, look, the USAID is not subject to investigation on our financial laws in the country and all of that. So if you want to bring an audit of government institutions that receive money from USAID, then to some extent, you may want to run into investigating the institution herself, the institution itself. And you know, there were some disagreements that a lot of other lawmakers had with respect to this. But this call from the Montserrat County Senator, is it a strategic one? Is it a timely one? Is it going to bring about any is it going to positively impact everything that's happening now, especially given how concerning it is that most of the different programs that USAID have been sponsoring across the country are either on a pause or have been, you know, canceled or cut off totally. Now, I want us to listen to just a portion of what the lawmaker had to say on Thursday.
The intent of this communication here is that as we speak, there are gaps within the national budget. Looking at the USAID projects that they have supported in the past in the health sector, education, in the agriculture sector. Those agencies have been implementing, receiving funds from USAID, which we want to say thank you to USAID. and those projects have been implemented. But today, there are gaps since the budget have been passed, and in the national budget, some of those resources were captured in the national budget. Now, if those money would not be given to the country, then we're going to be having a serious problem with the ministry land. Now, the intent also is that looking at the gaps, it's better that we conduct an audit to know how much of that money was used directly that benefited our people. Then it helps us as a country or as a legislature to be able to look in our various ministerial lands to come up with cuts where we can be able to come up and make some difference. Because if, for instance, there are money towards, like for instance, the health sector, if there are money.
So there you have it. The Montserrat County Senator, Senator Sir Joseph. I mean, what do you guys think? Is this call a timely one? The whole idea of going back to 2018. Now, if you're going back to 2018, one thing that is clearly seen here is that you're going to be going back to USAID operations from the very start of the CDC administration. The CDC came to power in 2018. So from the beginning of the CDC administration up to the end of the CDC administration, and even into 1 year of the United Party administration, why do we have to go back 6 years? If this is about just figuring out the gaps that has been created in our national budget, I mean, I want us to start a conversation from here, and maybe you want to come in, Moba. You can take your 2 minutes on this one, and we can go around the table.
Yeah, thank you, Nancy. Look, Sir Joseph Stahl, very great points and a very great statement today. Look, let me real, Nancy. Our country now, USAID is out, right? And the argument Sir Joseph is bringing on the floor is very useful. Meaning, the money users been spending on some other entities. What happens? Now usually are gone, right? So some of the area, what happened will collapse. Now, if you do an audit, and you will know how much users spent to those places, and according to him, he says some of those places, money was allocated in the budget for some of the area. So it means that users were, doing some job work there at the same time. The government too, with their own initiative too, are working there. But then the audit now will make it simple to us. It will explain in duties how much money was used, how much money was allocated for certain sector, medical, schools, bridges, that name them, right? How much money users were able to collect and help those area, those funding, and how much the government. And next thing, it will be a great initiative for the government, because it will mean that people.
How do we benefit? How do we benefit? How do we benefit from this audit now? Because the call now is to get the General Auditing Commission, the GAC, to go ahead and start to audit all those agencies of government to know how much they were able to receive from USAID in the past 6 or 7 years. Mother, I want you to help us understand how this entire process is going to be of help to where we are right now.
It will be of help in many ways. Let me say this. The first one, I will count the importance of the audit. I mean the auditing, right? But one of the main purposes there, it will able to explain to the Liberian people, firstly, how much usage spent in the entity and how much was the government contribution to the entity. Because now usage is not in the country. So you're expecting for the government to allocate more funding to those places where users were helping to. For example, clinic, other places in the district, county, it was, users are there carrying on their own project, right? So now users is out. How the government will come in now to help to those places. They got to know how much users was spending, so they can be able to go within the house, the Senate, to discuss how much they can add to all those places and see if how the outcome will be, and try to help to improve some of those sectors that users will no longer be able to help. And again, it brings transparency in that sense. It brings transparency in a sense. If you just spend the money properly, right, to some whatsoever company or whatsoever agency or whatsoever they spend it on, if it's spent properly, the government will know that yes, the 5,000 that were given for usage to make a bridge to Southern district, it was done, and there's the receipt, there's the money, there's. So it helped, come up with transparency. Number one, number two, it helped the entire country to know where you say were working, so that our people now you say is no longer there, so that the government now the burden is on their shoulder to help entity.
Thank you. I want us to hear from you. Let's go to Cindy, then we're going to come to AB. Because I see the CDC guys are trying to jump on this thing here. Let me keep AB for the last. But Cindy, what's your take on this call from the senator at this point? I mean, let's look at the timing. Let's look at the benefit. What sort of impact with this particular call, for USAID to audit those institutions? What sort of impact? I mean, let's hear a take on this issue.
Well, Nelson, it's good to be here. At this point, what this audit could serve is to figure out the gaps in government's operations or the NGOs and agencies that were benefiting from USAID operations. If an audit is done, it will try to capture the gaps. So there's something we call gap analysis. So they could do a gap analysis. Now, it is important to clarify or to make people to understand that Liberia does not have jurisdiction over USAID as an organization. Like the USAID is a US government agency. So Liberia cannot directly audit USAID. However, Liberia can request that the operations of USAID with the various agencies, government agencies, and NGOs that benefited from USAID be audited, their operation be audited. So Liberia will request, Liberia will say, USAID, we need your help. You give money to this agency. Can you request operational audits from this agency? And can you inform us? Then USAID now can, if they agree, they have to agree, right? Then they can provide Liberia with what we would call performance audit. Okay? Performance audit now will focus on USAID funded projects, again, that are implemented by Liberia agency, right? Liberia can also go to USAID and ask that USAID provide them financial report on how the funds were located. Again, this is like an appeal to USAID. This is Liberia cannot directly audit USAID.
And that's the concern. That's the concern that a lot of other lawmakers raised.
Liberia don't have jurisdiction on USAID. You can't directly audit USAID. USAID is not your government entity. USAID is like a big brother helping you that is backed by another government. So you can't directly go and say, let's audit you. They are not for you. You can ask them to do a gap analysis on your behalf, performance audit on your behalf. They will provide you the information. They will audit those agencies. But again, there's a serious diplomatic effort that must be made. If you go to USAID have to come to the US government, for instance, because they are disseminating information that are quote unquote indirectly for the US government. Because whatever fund the US government gives to USAID report back to the US government. So now if you go to USAID and say, I want you to please provide me some performance audits, they have to consult the US government first, right? So there's a whole diplomatic channel that have to be played.
And if you go back to the call, the communication, what triggered this whole thing, the lawmaker is saying that he wants us to get to a point where we can be able to identify the gaps that has been created as a result of the suspension of USAID funding. Now, what do you make of the timing, Sandy? Now, the lawmaker is calling for an audit that would take off from as far back as 2018, moving to 2025. We're talking about more than 6 years. Why do we have to go to 2018 up to 2025 if we just want to, figure out the gap, especially the one affecting the 2025 budget?
Yeah, I mean, the 2018 is not far away, you know what I'm saying? It's not far off. I think it will, if an audit should be conducted far back, 2015 or 2018, it will inform, again, I think what they want to know here is how the funds have been spent, right? It will inform the Liberian government how the funds that were given by USAID has been spent, right?
Okay.
And that will help us if we should get those funding, or if we don't get that funding at all, then we can fill the gap. That's gap analysis. Then we can fill the gap. But Nelson, you say it's already being audited by the US government on a regular basis, right? The Office of Inspector General in the US audit the USAID operation. The Government Accountability Office in the US, the GAO, that's a congressional agency. It audits the USAID. And there are other independent contractors that also audit the USAID. So again, this might not be something fixable. There's so much technicality, governmental.
Is this something, Sandy, from your own analysis, is this something that can be done in the next 1 month, in the next 2 months, or 3 months, or 4 months? If this is something that's going to drag up to 9 months, 8 months after this entire budget year will have collapsed, then what's the essence?
There is an entire diplomatic process that must be engaged. You say it's not the Ministry of Agriculture in Liberia that you will pull and say, come to the Senate, let's audit you. You say it's an agency for another government, the world superpower. There's a serious diplomatic effort that must be engaged.
Thank you. Thank you. Cindy, we're going to come back to you, but let me take AB on this one. Francis, we want to appreciate you for joining in tonight. Welcome to the show. AB, what's your take on the conversation tonight?
Nelson, I 100% agree with the senator. The senator makes us very salient points. And you say, like my brother Sandy said, you say cannot be audited by the Liberian government. But the entity who users spend their money on can be audited. Now, here is the catch. The auditing firm can liaise with another auditing firm, which of course is in the US, who are indeed in the know of auditing USAID year-to-year basis. There are auditing firms in the US here their primary job ethic is to just audit USAID. So the auditing general can be able to write informing them that they need certain documentation. You just need an expenditure of how many money was spent in this year and who were those that benefited from those money that were distributed at the time. Then from there, then the auditing can be done. But like my friend and brother says, Sunny, that this cannot be done in 1 month or 2 months. That's a blatant lie. This can be done in a single of an eye. This can be done in a 1 month period. Because the government, the senator struck a very salient point. We need to know, because you say it's not out of Liberia currently, but you say
Abby, did we have to get to this point before raising these concerns? Now, because USAID has been a major partner over the years. You talk about the different sectors across the country. USAID has affected or has impacted those different sectors. I mean, just in less than 1 week after the fundings, that decision was made, the unit responsible for counseling I think medication or whatever for HIV at the what's the place? Redemption Hospital. In less than 1 week, they put up a statement to say that that entire unit has been shut down because of the lack of funding. Funding is no longer flowing from the USAID. So that points to how much of an impact the USAID as an institution has made across our different sectors over the years. The last time I listened to the agriculture minister, he was saying that there are other farming projects, other programs in the agriculture sector that have been placed on hold because of this very funding issue. AB, do you really think we should have gotten at this point before, even going back to our institutions that we have controls over to make sure that they are audited? Josh, welcome to the show.
I will say no, but that something can make somebody to do something though.
Okay.
That something can be the cause of someone doing something. Before the senators did not realize that our entities need to be audited.
Okay.
But now they are realizing nothing is wrong than doing the right thing.
Okay.
So for our senator to be able to strike that very salient point, I strongly believe that this goal can be achieved in less than a month.
Thank you very much, AB. Let me bring Francis in on this one, and then we're gonna take Josh next, after which we will transition to our next discussion. But Francis, just 1 minute, your take on this whole call. I think you've been following the conversation. Senator Saad Joseph is calling on the Liberian Senate to take an action, audit, or mandate the General Auditing Commission to immediately investigate all government institutions, all government entities that receive money from USAID from 2018 to 2025. Audit them. Let's know how much was received. Let's know what the gaps are within the budget as a result of the suspension of USAID funding, and then we can take off from there. What do you make of this call?
Nelson and my colleagues, I want to say thanks for allowing me to join the conversation. Our country has been and continue to be in a bigger leadership trouble. The first thing is Donald Trump's foreign policy priority has been shifted. Some has been challenged in court here in America. Okay. So why did we take GAC from Minister of Finance, executive branch, and make it autonomous agency, independent, to perform audits across the government entities? Okay? So there is no need for senator or representative for anybody to call for audit. GAC should audit all government institutions. My second point about this thing here is USAID, except the change yesterday or day before yesterday, before Donald Trump came, majorities of their projects were not done by themselves. They contracted local contractors to do their projects. For example, current election commission building on 10th Street there. USAID money went the American people money, from the American people to the Liberian people. So all we need to do is to have the political will from the occupants of the executive mansion to make sure GAC has sufficient funding to audit government institutions across the board as per their enabling act, creating the GAC. That's what we need to do. We don't need no senator to say anything, no representative, nothing. It's flow show. These people are not proactive. They always sit. That's why they eat. They eat everybody money until they become pregnant. That's what I got to say.
Come on. They
are not serious people.
Francis, these people are making laws for the country, man. Let's respect
They're
them.
not doing much. They are not doing much. They don't do anything proactive. They're saying they sit down and just lay back. That's what they do.
George, let's hear your take on this issue. I mean, where do you stand on this call?
Look, Nelson, thank you for having me on here, and I want to thank our listeners as well. Nelson, I'm still trying to get to term, with what the center is trying to achieve here. because from the look of things, usually USAID provide budgetary support to the government. I don't think what he's talking about other funding that is done directly by USAID, where they contract local entities to do the job and then make reconciliation. I don't know what he's talking about, but here's what I want to say. I think this score is okay for me, because what he's trying to avoid here is duplication. But my question is, when did he get to know there could be duplication? Nelson,
You are very right, Georgie. It's a political
when did
flow
he get
show.
to know? Yeah, I think he's
Yeah,
trying to make a political.
let's give George time.
He's just learning because he's close to Dillon, where they sit in the Senate. He's trying to borrow from Dillon's book, but thinking and bringing out some political stunt
But
just to
don't
make
you think
a
this is
point.
good? Josh. I want to play just a few seconds into his presentation.
Yeah.
When he elaborated on this call.
The intent of this communication here is that as we speak, there are gaps within the national budget. Looking at the USAID projects that they have supported in the past in the health sector, education, in the agriculture sector. Those agencies have been receiving funds from USAID, which we want to say thank you to USAID, and those projects have been implemented. But today, there are gaps since the budget have been passed, and in the national budget, some of those resources were captured within the national budget. Now, if those money would not be given to the country, then we're going to be having a serious problem with the ministry land. Now, the intent also is that looking at the gaps, it's better that we conduct an audit to know how much of that money was used directly that benefited our people. Then it helps us as a country or as a legislature to be able to look in our various ministry lands to come up with cuts where we can.
So, and I think you just got it there, Josh. To help them to come up with
it makes better sense to me now. It made more sense to me. Also, it's what I think this senator is trying to say. I think there's a blanket accusation because it's what he's trying to say. He said this current budget, the hole that is in this budget, was covered by previous budget. Like they say, okay, maybe school feeding in Bapolu County, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the national budget, we have feeding schools in Bapolu for the past year, Waka year or CDC year, right? How come this year they are saying that there's no money for feeding that place, even though on our national budget we cover feeding that place a year before? And not knowing USAID were doing it, but we're also doing it again. So somebody were eating the money. That's why he's trying to drive at. If I'm correct, because that's what I try to get from you, because I'm trying to apply some, active listening here. I think that's why he's trying to portray. If that's what he's trying to portray, then of course there is a good reason to establish an audit, right? Because it could be easy. Nelson, you bring the money, I hold it, but I do the same work. Then I go and report to the person and say, oh, I finished doing the work. Oh, yeah, they report here. Then I go report it up and say, get no girlfriend and I in whatever. Don't get it. Okay, let me just leave that part. What they get into? They can get plenty of boyfriend there, right? They can get plenty of boyfriend. Then they can go to say, I want to fix my hair. The boyfriend A get them money to go fix the hair. Then boyfriend B get them money to fix the same hair. Then they go fix the hair. They care to boyfriend B. Oh, my hair fix the hair. And now the same picture. Then the same picture. Maybe that's what's happening. And if that is happening, that corrupt girlfriend, we need to punish her. So that's why the audit is needed. I think I concur with this senator. I think he's making some sense if that's what he's driving at. But if he's trying to say that audit was done, because you can still go and do audit, you can call the government to your house and say, let me see the hair, what you see your face. She can show you the hair. And then, but she move and then you'll show it to another person and I see money is here. So corruption could be done. So I don't know how the audit can recover that. Maybe they can reconcile the two amounts, the two funding from the A and from the B. Let's see what happens there. But I think from what I just listened to, that's what I concur. I think it's making sense, Nelson.
Nelson, quick information.
Um,
Based on our system, there is something that part of our budgetary system called budget performance. For example, 2024 budget performance shall be even available, before the lawmaker make a decision to pass the 2025 budget. That budget performance able to tell the lawmaker exactly what happened 2024.
Yeah.
Giving them some sort of information how to go about this. So in any kind of way we do it, when the GACC or smoke aspire enabling our establishing the GAC, they can move in. They don't need anybody to say go do it. In
Thank you.
addition to that,
Thank you.
only the president can come out like commission taking audit based on the act. But for the senators to be calling for that, whereby they pass the budget at City Hall, that's what they did, right? In less than 24 hours, they pass it. And now you're calling for, audit. When you got to know that, when you got to realize that, when you pass the budget at City Hall.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Let me hold you there. I saw your hand up, mobile.
Yeah. Nelson, just give me 5 seconds. Look, I think George get it, and let me add to George's statement. And secondly, I think the senator also want to know how much have a little entity what I mean you say we're bringing to some other entity because now you say it's not coming in, so that the government can be able to allocate to those places in increasing fund, or maybe some area need. Oh, that's gone. But let me just go ahead, right? And we'll just give everybody 5 seconds, then you come back. And so that end of the day, when they pass it, maybe now, because as my brother just said, they already passed the budget. But the next budget, maybe they want to know how much usage spend to some of the area. Usage is not there no more. What you expect? Usage is not there. So now the government now got to add up to those places. For example, a user get 5,000 somewhere to do a work, and you find out that a user get 5,000, the government get 5,000, it's 10,000. And now those entities is not working, right? So if you get a 5,000, if only the government get a 5,000, meaning that entity will not work properly. So they will need an audit to those places so they can know how much to allocate in a budget so they can be able to meet with those entity and other places and stuff. So I think it makes sense to me. 100%, I believe that what the senator is doing is not wrong. He going maybe probably he going to say I'm going audit usage straight. No, he going audit usage. You say me audit. All he doing the entity, the places they get a contract in other places. The government can go there and carry some auditing and come back and say they play at 10,000. So now government or using not there. So what we need to do, let us add another money to those places and see how best we can be able to improve those places. So I think the senator is calling on the red path, and we should respect that. Mazemi, give you 5 seconds and we'll go around to the next thing account.
You have just said it all. I mean, that is the reason why I'm really proud of the senators, because they are making salient points. The senators are making points that will benefit the Liberian people. Now, take for example, if you say that if the GSC communicate with an auditing firm which is responsible to audit USAID in the United States, if GSC communicate with that auditing firm and they were able to receive all of the documents from 2018 to 2025, now mind you, there will be some of the entity that will be into serious problems.
Thank you. There's no audit there now, so that would just
yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys. We have 2 more talking points to run on quickly. I want to. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, good.
Okay, so let me get this up. There seemed to be a little bit of technical issue from my end here, but let me bring this up. This one quickly. So while I'm trying to get this up, Let's listen to this video.
Honorable Richard Nangwekun, Speaker, Honorable House of Representatives, 55th Legislature, Capitol Building, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Read official complaint against Honorable Yeke Wa Koluba. Dear Honorable Speaker and Member, I present compliments and herewith right to officially complain Honorable Yeke Wa Koluba, Representative District 10, Montserrat County, for gross violation of the House's standing rules and procedure. Honorable Speaker and members, I respectfully bring to your attention my observation with deep regret that since the inception of the second session of the 55th Legislature, Honorable Koluba has constantly and repeatedly engaged into acts inimical to the rules of procedure governing the activities of the House of Representatives. In the instance case and during one of our sittings on the 28th day of January AD 2025, Honorable Koluba purposely, knowingly and intentionally elected to insult member of the House, disrespect the gavel of the Speaker, and disrupt the session which exposed the House to public disrepute by his demeanor that contravenes Section 42.2 of the Standing Rules of Procedure of the House of Representatives. Additionally, Honorable Speaker and fellow colleagues, the District Number 10 Montserrat County Representative publicly referred to members of the House of Representatives as juntas, quote unquote, outside of the chamber of the House, thereby breaching Rule 42.1, which provides that every member of the House of Representatives shall be responsible at all times and places to keep the prestige and dignity of this august body. This act on the part of Honorable Koluba does not only undermine the integrity of the House, but much more exposes our children to immoral lifestyles of leadership through the social media, which, if not corrected, could denigrate our country into a culture of violence as a way of life. As a result of the aforementioned, it is my prayer to this august body that an action shall be taken against Honorable Koluba to serve as deterrence and restore the image of the House. Respectfully submitted, Honorable Johnson S.N. Williams, Representative District Number 3, River G County. Honorable.
Investigation will continue next week, Wednesday at 11 a.m. and the office of the clerk will be is hereby asked to send another communication to Representative Yeke Wa Koluba, District Number 10, Montserrat County, informing him that this hearing was earlier scheduled for today and the hearing commenced, but due to his absence from the hearing, the committee has thought it wise to extend the hearing to next week Wednesday to afford him more opportunity to come and defend himself against the allegations raised in said complaint. Having said that, it is also important that we inform members of the committee and the Honorable House of Representatives and the public in general that what we are doing is in fulfillment of due process. Like you heard the co-chair saying, due process says you should hear before you condemn. So one of us filed a complaint against one of us. We think that we have to give the opportunity to all parties, the accuser and the accused, to come and make their case. So to Robert Johnson Williams or Robert G. County will say our sincere apology that we cannot proceed with this matter. It is our hope that the time mentioned earlier for the hearing of this matter, you'll be present to make your case, to convince this committee why you think that we should be convinced that indeed the allegations leveled against Honorable Koluba in your communication should be accepted, or not accepted. And at the same time, we want to give as a public notice to Honorable Koluba, if he's watching this view, while awaiting his invitation, due to his absence, we have postponed this hearing, and we are going to recommence this hearing on Wednesday at 11 a.m. at the first floor conference room of the House of Representatives, where we are currently seated. We want to say thank you to the media for coming. Thank you to our colleagues, members of the committee, and also pray and hope those that are excused due to official obligations to be here at set time, so we can all form part of this hearing. Also to the Secretariat, to the Sergeant at Arms, we say thank you.
So there you have it, guys. Sorry, there's a little bit of a technical issue from my end here. That's why I'm in the background. But there you have it, a communication. Now, with this communication, one of his colleagues, talking about Representative Yeke Koluba, has now officially complained him to the rules, order, and administration. So like you have with the police and even with the AFL, they have the professional standard division. That division is responsible to investigate and chastise one of their own. Any lawmaker or any police officer or whoever that will go against the professional ethics of that institution. So this lawmaker has written the communication complaining Representative Yeke Koluba that he's in the constant habit of bringing the House to disrepute. His conduct is unethical. He calls the group Jontile, and he doesn't respect the speaker's gavel. So they want an investigation or an action to be taken against the lawmaker. Now, what happens here is that Representative Yeke Koluba raised suspension or expulsion based on what the outcome of those of this particular investigation will be. I mean, I want us to take 1 minute each across the table on this one. They've cited him. They've given him up to next week to appear. Like we saw with Speaker Kofa. Is this something similar that's about to happen to Yeke Koluba? Speaker Kofa was given the first communication to appear before a body that was set up to afford him time to explain or to exonerate himself or to make the case for himself. He did not honor the body. He said the body was illegal, so he could not subject himself to that particular body. Now, in the case of Yeke Koluba, the first communication was sent. He said, no, the group is a junta. He doesn't respect or recognize the group. A second communication is going to be sent. What on these guys? Let's start with you, Francis. Then we're going to go to Mobile and go around the table.
Nelson, thank you again. This thing here, it have become a bubble gun or maybe chewing gun. The Yeke Koluba story, it looks like it doesn't have any magnitude anymore. Because the institution that is accusing one of themselves of disgruntledness, they are also disgruntled. We saw them busting their own speaker office, public door, or public building. Okay? The philosopher said, when you wash your hands better, you can eat with kings. When you want to be prosecutor, you have to be disciplined and follow the law. Everything that we see, for example, you pull on the video from the previous conversation with Yeke Koluba, for example, an elected, legitimately and constitutionally elected speaker because of some allegation of bad governance. We saw how Yeke Koluba conducted himself during that time. A majority of the decision they took, that body took against Yeke Koluba went to court and won. Then what about this group that the Supreme Court have said they are in the round of the law? They are in violation of their own standing rules and the Constitution, the Liberian 1986 Constitution, that hold all of us accountable. How can they be making the law, making rules, and they are the one violating the rules? How can they be doing everything they've been doing in recent time illegally on the basis of, oh, how can 53 men and women be scared of one man and they go to RLJ and they cannot even sit in their own chamber to question that man that they cannot vote for them or they cannot keep them? And they want to prosecute other people? Look, Nelson, when it comes to your Yoruba story, let the people do what they want to do, yeah? They have suspended some people, I'm told, and they have refused to give them pay through the enforcement of the executive branch of government, Minister of Finance, based on the endorsement of the President Joseph Numa Boakai. So let them go ahead. Because Yeke said, and I agree with Yeke, they are not legitimate. Richard Koo is not a speaker. That's the law.
Thank you.
That's the law. He's not a speaker. I agree with Yeke. It's not a speaker.
Let's hold you there and bring Moba in quickly. Moba, your take on this issue, your minister.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Look, I'm much, Nelson, Yaka Koluba being a disruptor for the past 6 and almost, to the beginning of this year, House of Representatives. And I think he will continue doing this to see, to see the type of chaos that Yaka Koluba can always come out. Yaka Kolba, the same person who was doing buffer team, look, sometimes I just sit down and laugh. Nelson, our country, I think most of the lawmakers, even some of those people, they are not even serious. Because Yaka Kolba was on spoon talk yesterday. He said all the things he said before to Jovial our lie. But the one he's saying today that too, he said, yeah. He said we will lie. So to tell you Yaka doing the same thing, so the Labrampo can come by and say that we're voting for sympathy. And it is wrong. And people come in and hear Yeke. Oh, Yeke, the Yeke who said it, who said on spoon talk yesterday that they lie on job we are need to for job worker to come. And I see Yeke now coming up with bringing things in. And people still follow behind to say, oh, yeah, what you say, Tuesday tomorrow you say the thing I was saying to Unity Party too, that was lie. I can tell Yeke to be serious. For yesterday he made a statement on spoon talk.
Thank you.
My respect for when it comes to reliable information, giving it. I would never believe Yaga. Why Yaga can go to the opposition? Even when Joseph Bagato didn't say the truth, I would not believe it until I see the evidence for that. So for me,
thank you.
The entire house nursing, let the people call Yaga. And first of all, Yaga already refused. The first we said they put it at jumped out. Now, some of your colleagues already agreed that Richard Koo is the speaker. Why you go or you come down that you can't stop it. Why it through the constitution and some of our year was saying. We say it's not part of the constitution. People say that horse, that political body. Anything happen there, it stay there. Whatsoever the people do that, it. So let it go by the same rules. Let it go by the same horse politics. Or policy. Let him go there and facing the people and debunk some of the claims so that he can be free. Because end of the day, you can that made noise. What the people say this, you can't they expect to hold your money. What you will do? You can do nothing. You go to Supreme Court, the people run there and say that our horse, what won't do that, what won't do. You don't do nothing. So today I listen to some people talking, say he might not go. Then he stay home. He might not go. You can go there and what? And debunk some of the lies so that you can come out end of the day, you can be able to get your pay and go do the Labrampo way. Because I know that you were down there for many years and you will not pass one bill. One. You will not pass it. All you do, you come out, you cause president, cause opposition, cause everybody. Then people say, yeah, you're doing well. Like all like one of there. But for you to pass one bill for the people in your district to benefit, I believe that you never pass that bill. Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you, Moba. Josh, let's hear you, and then Frank AB will be next. Moba, you can take over for a while.
Nelson, look, the Constitution talks about two-thirds, to be able to change the speaker. These guys could not get a number, right? Because they could not get a number, they ran away from the Capitol Hill, went to RLJ. Spent all the Labrimpo money there renting from a South African hotel owner, right? And these guys who could not fulfill the legal aspect of changing their own leader are now trying to chastise someone for not recognizing the person they chose or for saying some things that are disparaging. I think Nelson, I think Yega Kolova, as I've always said on this show, I did not support his advocacy. I think that they were really below the belt. But this is what Liberian people like. Liberian people like these sort of behaviors. And I think it is about time that the Unity Party that used to be carrying Yega Kolova everywhere, introducing it to every forum with a lot of applause, when you finish cursing women, cursing George Weah, cursing officials in government, they were applauding him. I think it's a time now for them to continue to applaud him. I don't think he's wrong on this one. I don't support most of the things, but this one, I don't think he's wrong. These guys are unruly. I think we need to say it. I don't support anyone in this case because I don't have any fish to fry here. But look, these guys could not do things the right way. Then why should we expect them now to want to, implement their rules when they could not even implement their rules a few months back? Because they were all greedy. They all wanted power. They all wanted positions. I'm sure some of them wanted, something else. That's why, because nothing was in it for the Liberian people. So these guys, they are juntas. I will repeat Honorable Koroba's statement. I think they should not be paid no attention. I don't advise for Koroba to go and see them because I think they're just trying to, make themselves legitimate. I think that's what they're doing, because if he goes there now, that means they will become legitimate, and that's where I can stop. Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you, Josh. Bazi, to work for now, we'll do our closing because we're off the radio for now. So we'll just do our closing right after your
Mama, Honorable Yeka Kolba is not a stranger to me because for some of us, we have been in the student politics and we have been in a political glimpse of our country. Yeka Kolba is trying to buy popular sentiment. That's all that brother tried to do. Now, you condemn the speaker. Under the speaker, the budget will pass. The budget where your pay is coming from, the budget was passed. You're receiving your monthly allowance. You are now refusing your monthly allowance. You are not saying that they are junta. The monthly allowance is a junta. But yet you come to refer to people who legitimately voted for the speaker, then you come to refer to them as the junta. I strongly believe that Honorable Joka Kolba need to be put in a place. And the way that needs to be done is by going through the proper channel. What is that proper channel? Is for one of their own to complain. And just what the brother. And look, Honorable Yakagoro Kolba, he want to, the brother want to buy the popular sentiment in the directions of not refusing to attend. So the people will say, "Oh no," but if you refuse to attend, there are some second communications. They are hard pardon on him for the first one. The second one, that one, it will be proving that the brother is guilty. And let me say,
30 seconds. Yeah, go ahead, 30 seconds.
Let me say answer to my friend and brother who is on the Rules and Ethics Committee. He is doing extremely well. He wants to hear from both sides. That is the reason why the brother did not sit down to their runner in unilateral decisions. He decided to send for Yakagoro Kolba. And I truly believe that this brother The brother is seriously. I think the addition number 10, that's what they voted for and that's what they have. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll do our closing 1 minute because now we out of time and also the radio is off. So Josh, we can start with you. Just go to the queue. At least we hit the
All right,
exact
guys. Look,
10 o'clock.
just for my closing, I would just want to play a devil advocate here. I see a lot of people making an argument of budget. If you say they are not legitimate, why are you taking pay and everything? Guys, know that when a budget is not passed, the government does not automatically shut down. The president has the right to spend certain portion of the budget that has not yet been passed to do business, to keep the government running, to pay salaries, to do everything else, right? Until the budget can be passed. I stand at Koloba and say, I don't recognize you guys. The budget is yet to be passed, and we are spending money from the unpassed budget. That is legal. So, guys, stop making all that argument about why is he taking pay when you say they are not when they are not legal. The budget supposed to just it starts from January all the way to December, right? And we are just in February, so you can say the budget has not yet been passed. You can say we will come back together to pass this budget, but what you guys have done is not a passed budget. You can deny it because you don't want to make them legitimate, right? Because you don't recognize it. You can say it's not passed. Whatever they're doing it on their own. So let's forget about the argument. It holds no water. Let's come to the fact that they will suspend him. No, now the Supreme Court ruling is that you need 50 full members of the legislature or of the representative in the chamber to suspend a lawmaker, because suspend is almost like removal, right? So they don't have the number to do that. So I don't know, they will do it illegally to do it now. So they cannot remove him until everyone else can come together, because they don't have the number to remove anyone now. So that one is out of the boat. So whatever argument you got, you can keep it somewhere else, or you can bring it up, we can discuss it, because we're all here to learn. But I will tell you that they cannot suspend him, they cannot remove him, because now suspension is equivalent, according to the Supreme Court ruling, is equivalent to removal. So to remove him, you need 54. They don't have that number. So let's just leave it. What I want to say to the Liberian people is that we often look for our own trouble by doing the things that we do only because we like entertainment. I think one of the things that most dictators use is to entertain. When they entertain the people forget about their suffering. And I think that's the whole strategy President Bouaka is deploying by allowing this rigmarole to continue at the legislature. He's doing it so that he can be distracted from his failure to bring jobs for the suffering people who are looking for jobs, to bring opportunities for people. And because of that he cannot do it, he's trying to fill that void by creating this whole nonsense that is happening up at the Capitol Hill. It's sad, and I think the Liberian people should look beyond these tricks, these politics that are happening, and know that President Bouaka is not fit for this job, and that they can stand up and remove him, because we need him gone. He's doing nothing for the country. All he does is sleep. Thank you.
Thank you. Francis.
Yes, sir. All right, Marba, thank you. I listen to a lot of folks, including folks on Spunto, the bigger platform. But let me just say something. I think our country is in bigger trouble, leadership-wise. I'm not too sure President Barker want to deliver on his promises from the get-go of his stewardship, presiding officer of our country. Because there's no way that all these things going to be done in the chaos. The House of Representatives do not have a leadership right now. That's clear. In addition to that, like my brother Ibi said, it is not true. If it is true that Yeke Koba should not take pay because he referred to the illegal presiding officer of the members of the House of Representatives, then mean the Supreme Court justices should not take pay too. Because these people violated the law and they are still in violation with consistency, all of the members of the Supreme Court bench boycotted the president's State of the Nation address. What about that? In addition to that, we've been hearing, I don't know, it is out now, I stand to be corrected, that the better information is coming out to further explain in a simple manner that Rachel Kuhn and her majority, so-called majority, junta, political gender ways, they are still in the wrong. The Supreme Court is coming up with that. Moreover, on the issue of USAID and the NGOs and everybody, our government at this time need to look inside so that we can reduce the salary of public officials to prioritize our priorities. If we can get help from outside or future USAID, it would be okay. But we cannot have a poor country, poor people, even though the country now poor, and people are taking on these fabulous salaries with fabulous benefits and flying private jet all over the place, and we cannot even pay this better salary for the police, better salary for the teachers, and if we make the GSK better. Hmm? Oh, they read my about USAID. We don't need it because Donald Trump, I can guarantee you, doing this down to Donald Trump, you're not going to get penny from USAID. So that one, just forget about it. And not only Liberia, across the globe. So we need to do some in-house mobilization to create jobs for our people. And up to this point, just get me corrected, Joe Buakai have done with 1 year already. Joe Buakai have not been able to get a single invitation from the American government to come to America officially. And we started about George Weah, and probably it's going to be the same way. The MCC might not likely come based on all of this human rights violation. The last 24 hours, I checked the State Department human rights violation on Liberia or report. It is ugly, my people. All these things these folks carry on at that Capitol building, and now they want to hold Yeke accountable when their hands are dirty. It is troubling. All I can say, I can't wait to see the end of Joseph Boakai regime so that maybe we can try another passing. But from all indication, because I know under the social contract theory, the John law policy, it doesn't work in Liberia. The only thing that has worked so far so good, it is what we got now. Keep talking, keep talking. If we can't talk any longer, they push us, then we use the ginger result theory to remove them by force. I'm not too sure we'll go into that because until they can push us, we will not go to that. We'll wait for them and go with John law theory. Let them do all the nyama thing, and then when the time comes, we remove them through the balance of the vote. So, my brother, and everything I want to say, thank you.
Thank you. Ebi.
My friend and brother Francis Kanguma Dono.
Yes, sir.
He sounds like a sweet one, but lack of substances.
Good job.
You know, it was the same house that suspended, I don't know, it was 7 members. It was the same house that suspended my representative, Francis Afoko Jr. Now you come to tell the house that they are gender we, that they are all illegitimate speaker. You are not just referring to the speaker, you are referring to the body. You are referring to the body that elected that speaker. You are talking about the Supreme Court said that you need to be having 64 or 54. That is a false. 50 members of the House of Representatives can be able to remove anybody. So for me, I am very much pleased with the House leadership. And these guys are doing extremely well. Because these guys, they live with the common people. These guys want to see the interests of the commoners. Like my brother said, when it comes to the executive is another branch. The House of Representatives is the first branch of government in our constitutions. You want for the executive to go to interfere with the first branch? Is that what you want? But I am enjoying the paper because you guys said that he was a sleeping giant. But now, look at the roads. Look at the schools. Look at the livelihood of our comrades and compeers. Liberians are smiling because of the budget, this grand budget, because of the federal ministry were able to increase. No, you are not talking about that. You are not talking about the debtors that the president brought into the country. You are not talking about that. But I am
The guy
here.
can lie.
I am here.
I'm a judge by me, but I meant to
The guy can lie, my man. Let me mute myself.
You guys are
Go and punish the guy. You read President. Go and punish the guy for talking all the lies here.
Liberals are smiling.
President,
Sorry. Let me mute myself.
Big girl, go ahead. If we tell, go ahead. I give you 1 more minute.
My friend and brother, our populations are smiling. Our populations are jubilating because of them voting for JMB and the American coup. And that is the reason why our dynamic vice president of the republic is coming. He will be in Pennsylvania next month, the 8th. Not only that, you are not talking about the debtors from Canada, the debtors from USA. You are not talking about the debtor from Russia. You are not talking about the debtor that the president of our country invited to our country to be able to train. You are not talking about that. You are not talking about the wages that were increased, wherein the CDC-led administration came to power. They were able to decrease our people take-home salary. This government said bye-bye to that. So I am saying to our fellow comrades and compeers that this government will live up and this government will be on the right side of history, because I strongly believe that Liberia will be elaborated and Liberia will be rescued. Thank you.
I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Formula 2 minutes, I beg you. Watch your time because we out of time. You just can't, so I just want to.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, Moba. Thank you very much. Sometimes they say when you go to church late, it's not good to raise unnecessary song. Yeah. Maybe George had already sang the song. But
so listen, you start in 10:03. So about 10:10, listen at 10:06, you out. So I'll give you 3 minutes. Quiet.
My man, Francis open a whole classroom. Give me a minute, man. Let me rest.
I'll give you 3 minutes.
All right, no problem. Thank you. What a great show. It's always good to come up and say what we need to say for our Liberian people. Look, Martin Luther King said that our lives begin to end the very moment we become silent about things that matter. There are a lot of contradiction in the country. The country is impregnated with contradiction, and it is binding upon all citizenry to come up to speak to issues that is happening in our country. Look, I support 100% the action of the legislature to conduct and investigate, if possible, suspend any lawmaker who contravene or breaks any rule of the House. Look, we have lamented on this, we have stuck on this, we have said it back and forth. Liberia is not improving simply because people want to shield other people because of political alignment. There's Auckland and voodoo
politics in the country has made our entire country a messy place. Why will you, as an honorable lawmaker, not want to comport yourself? Is that what the people paying you for? We agree. They say, people say, oh, you go to the house to talk for your people, but they say talk in a respectful manner. I do not get. I'm not against people speaking truth to power. I'm not against people saying what is right, but say in a very civil way. Say in a way that the people said that you're advocating for will know that you're saying it for them. But we only hear people calling their colleagues junta, calling the president an embarrassment. You insulting every now and then. You think that person should be taken seriously? Look, we have to move past that one. And Liberia is at a crossroad. And the progress of Liberia depends on us. For those of us who sit on the show with negative propaganda, with emotional distress, we come on the show and we just spew anything that comes to our emotion. Let us get ready, because we are not facing the issue, we are spoiling the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Formula. Let me just do my 1 or 2 minute closing and then we'll just be done. Look, guys,
You can go now, Formula.
I only know what I say. Look, but anyway, I'll closing tonight because there's not here. But let me just
you have money.
Thank
Look,
you guys.
Look, Mother, before you come in,
our many.
You see the Francis is getting me angry. I know the Francis guy, but I will not that finish the show for. I will hang on the show with me behind the stage so I can address Francis more.
I really want to make you angry more.
No, I'm not.
I don't know whether you come from local country like other Lofians. I will really make you angry more, because I will say more stuff that will make you angry, because I already know Liberian people, truth is not part of your DNA.
No.
They see political alignment you talk about, you part of that. We are not part of that. This country is not part of that. I am aligned to my country. So I'm going to get you angry more.
You see,
just to push the button a little bit. We are not referring to Joseph Walker. They're not politics, because the men say I'm making angry. Why we can't talk yet? Why we can't talk right yet? Why we can't talk right yet?
You should be happy.
Francis,
So guys, I want to say it's been a great show. I want to say
end the show, Nelson. End the show. Let me go to Francis.
Great show. Thanks.
Look, Famo. Don't get yourself out of
time. Francis, let me
conclude now, guys. Thank you for coming on, Famole. We appreciate those last minute of time. But Josh, thank you as well. Francis and AB. Mobile, thanks for holding it down. We had some technical issues. That's why I couldn't stay on to end the show. But we appreciate our audience as well. And we look forward to being here tomorrow. Have a good night.
Nelson, call me later, please. Call me later, please.
Right. And bye-bye.